This is the Conservative Outlaw. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe and share with your friends. It helps us out, helps the channel out, and helps us bring you more information.
Here to discuss this is Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, this judge issued a warning, and by the way, welcome, Tom. Good to see you. Issued a warning that if agents are using this dispersant, they better be able to back it up, and if they can't, they'll lose that. What exactly could have happened if Bovino and those agents hadn't dispersed that crowd as they did? You heard the threats. What could have happened, Tom?
Border Patrol agents could be hurt and they could be killed. Look, you know, first of all, it's a radical decision made by a radical judge. DOJ will appeal it, and we'll get beyond this. However, here's what should happen. The judge, Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, put a Border Patrol uniform on for one shift. Come out there and stand there with the men and women of the Border Patrol and ICE and see how you're going to respond. Look, the Border Patrol agents are trained very well on use of force continuum. They don't go from 0 to 100. There's no use of force against peaceful protesters. But when they impede them, when they threaten them, when they assault them, when they trespass, use of force is used at the lowest level to make someone comply, to the highest level is needed if it's a death, an action of a death threat or serious bodily injury. So these agents are very well trained. Even back in 1984, when I went to the Border Patrol Academy, you're well trained in crowd control and riot control. These are the best trained men and women that come into riot control, crowd control. They're doing exactly as they were trained to do. So I would question the judge. You want to know what's happening? Put on that uniform, stand on that front line, and have stones thrown at you, and see if there's justification for these men and women to protect themselves.
Well, I mean, they were calling people who were, I'm not talking about the people who were busting windows, so people who were walking through the Capitol on January 6th were insurrectionists walking, okay? They had a book thrown at them. But people who are a millimeter away from an agent's face screaming at them and refusing to back up, I don't understand how that's even allowed, Tom, when someone can get that close to the faces of Border Patrol or ICE officials, excuse me, who are entrusted and charged with defending federal property. I don't understand how that's ever allowed.
This shouldn't be allowed based on the current intelligence of the threats, the bounties against these men and women, the 1,000% increase on assaults. It should not be allowed. These men and women need to protect themselves. And let's remember, they're enforcing laws that Congress enacted and that Congress appropriates them funding to do. And the bottom line is, look at the data. 70% of everybody they're arresting is a criminal. That's just a stone cold fact. The other 30% are national security threats, and those are final orders that ICE is required by statute to execute and enforce. So ICE and Border Patrol are not going to stop doing what they're doing. They're going to keep enforcing law. They're going to keep President Trump's promise to make this country safe again. It starts with criminal illegal aliens.
Tom, there are a number of reports that there's growing friction between you and Kristi Noem, the DHS secretary. A quote is that on one side is Border Czar Tom Homan and ICE Director Todd Lyons, who have advocated focusing on criminal aliens and those with final deportation orders. On the other side are DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, Border Patrol Commander Bovino, who've pushed for a broader and more aggressive approach targeting anyone in the U.S. illegally to get those deportation numbers up. Is that report in any way accurate, Tom?
Look, we're all being aggressive. I've said from day one we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. But if you're in the country legally, you're not off the table, we'll arrest you too. So the numbers speaks for themselves, Laura. Most secure border in history of this nation. Over 23,000 missing kids have been found and saved. And we have a record number of arrests and deportation. We're going to hit 600,000 real soon, which will be a historic record. And we're going to keep going. As we get more agents on, you're going to see arrests increase twice, 3 times. You're going to see the numbers skyrocket.
Tom, thank you very much. Got 25 million people here illegally. They're taking up a lot of resources.